Although, I have no idea. Ooh, excuse me. What I'm gonna have to throw in to kind of replace all this. I could just easily throw a shield generator, but I want to put in something else. I'm just not sure what. What can I throw in there to kind of help boost its power potential with these dark matter reactors? Because these are easily over 3 antimatter reactors, so that these two easily cover this 6, and that's it. Like that extra one's basically a bonus. So I got 4x4 there, which essentially gives me like an extra utility component that I can use. What do I have access to that I can use then in that case? I know there's sick bay, which I don't think I care about. I could throw in a fighter bay in there if I really want to throw in more fighters. Or, there's a silly idea, just throw another fighter bay in. It works. I just want to see if there's any other option I have. Maybe I want a fancy ECM, because that would be pretty potent. Makes it hard to hit, especially since it's playing a more passive role, the swarm itself. So that is probably what I'll do. Heck, I could almost go with both. Have my cake and eat it too in a sense. Get rid of these class 3 shields for the ECM. And then also put in the extra heavy fighter bay. That kind of gives me the best of both worlds, doesn't it? Now, what do I want to throw in these little slots? Because I got a lot of small space to throw in there. Crew quarters? I don't think I need that so much, does it? Yeah, 5% damage bonus and better accuracy, which this thing, again, is playing a more passive role, so I don't think I care about that so much. So I guess I'm just stuck with more ordnance, I guess. Even though I have the fabricators for it. I don't really want to do that though. I think I'm happy with what it has. I'm just limited options that I can use to fit those slots. So I honestly don't know what to throw in there. I'll go with the fuel cells just in case. Seems kind of like the most lackluster thing I could throw in there, but hey. Don't have much other ideas to be honest. Oh, and I forgot about the fact that Swarm has a couple of free slots. So, do I want to just fill it out with more shield generators? Really go crazy on the shield power. I think that's what I want to do. And just to be safe, I'll throw in one more dark matter reactor because I can. And then the rest will fill it with shield generators, and that will truly... Not only does it solve my phasor power problems, it also makes this thing even more resilient. In a very, quite the extreme sense. Almost to the point where I want to throw an additional particle capacitor to make up for the fact that I have 2 on these sides here. Hell, those could be extra phasors too. Let's go. Let's really go crazy, because 4 more of these things alone help offset that in the middle. So let's throw in those phasors, shall we? What do I have? Rapid fire and arc extend. Can't go wrong with more power now, can we? Oh, I want that for the capacitor. Is it the capacitor? Yeah, it's the capacitor. So let me find that quickly. And we are sitting pretty. That is quite a significant worthwhile boost. It's probably overkill in a lot of sense, but hey, we're gonna have our fun. And last but not least, the Storm Beetle. And of course, I might as well upgrade the soldiers as well. Upgrade everything while I'm at it. Because why the hell not? And with my experimentation of the cruise missiles, I think I want to switch those to actually be cruise missiles. I think that would be smarter, because they're going to be more reliable there. And I don't need that much power, do I? That's way extreme overkill. Maybe I do need an extra one there. That gives me more shield generators to throw in the middle for the more all-round defense. And of course, that at the same time, that frees up the front for more weaponry. Which means I could throw in more torpedoes, actually. I don't need cruise missiles, do I? Because I think I want to emphasize more missiles if I can help it, as opposed to the antimatter cannons. So let me find the shields, throw them on. And throw in the torpedoes. What is it? Antimatter? Yeah, it's antimatter, so where are you? There we are. And that actually fits in really nicely there, I gotta say. Fits in perfectly. And it's 2 extra torpedoes there that already have the boost, although I probably should have thrown in the overload to kind of give it additional punch. There we are. And what's that leave us? Just the front here for a couple more point defense lasers, because actually we are limited on point defense lasers in the front, so that could be a potential issue as far as shooting down fighters, especially in the initial rounds of the fight. Although really, just 8 point defense lasers are really only going to take out like 4 or 5 missiles, if not just a single torpedo, so it's not really impressive. But hey, I feel that's a substantial upgrade there. So we got that covered. Almost to the point where I don't even think I need these power capacitors anymore. I probably do need a little bit of surplus so I can handle the energy demands of these antimatter cannons though. So I'll leave that. So Sword Beetle is done. We got the Hornet already upgraded. And that's an impressive ship now. We have the Wasp. Then now that leaves our soldier. We're gonna get ourselves a Mark 6, I believe. Because we have the power. We have the reactors to make it work. So why the hell not? That frees up a little more space again. So let me just double check. 160 versus the antimatter reactors, 50. So easily triple that. So that basically negates all the other reactors, and I could put the point defense on there. Do I need to? I could almost put a fabricator on here to give it indefinite ammo instead. So that's probably what I'll do. So that way, if the fights do drag on really long, the soldier will continue to operate at full power, essentially. Just not going to have a lot of point defense, which is a bit negative. And I don't think it even has enough power to do a shield boost there actively. So that might be an issue as well, but that's also a fairly noticeable improvement, I think. So we got ourselves a Soldier Mark 6. And I have a guard as well, which is very simple design. So I'm wondering what I can do about this. Because this is going to be awkward. I can go all spinals, which I don't think I want to do, because this is more a defensive frigate. So I think I'm going to replace those with point defense lasers. Now, do I want just one? It looks like I might need 2 dark matter reactors. Might as well throw sort of one in for good measure. And where are the laser batteries again? We'll fill that out. And that gives us a lot with targeting computer and fair amount of laser batteries. That thing's gonna be pretty potent. And I think maybe that might have a little bit more reliable chance to regenerate shields because of the low energy of these lasers, I think. So that would be pretty good, I believe. So that is guard done. We're gonna have a lot of ships to refit, and let us not forget our consort. Very simple design, but this is about to get supercharged essentially with just one single dark matter reactor. Although, it's obviously way too much power. What the hell can I do with this thing? I now, with the power capacitor in the middle, have the option of putting a bigger laser turret on there if I really want to. Or just straight putting a flat cannon on. This is interesting. I have a lot of options with this ship now. Although I'm going to stay true to its point defense, I think. So we'll leave the consort as is to be more of a shooting down fighters and of course missiles, and it's got the firepower to make it happen. The Firefly, on the other hand, what can we do with this? 2 antimatter cannons would be pretty potent, you would think, on a Corvette. I just haven't ever built any of them. So do I really care about this ship? It's probably not worthwhile, because frigate there, my soldier, which I have a Mark 6 variant, has like 4 spinals, which is easily double the firepower of the turret ones. So this is essentially 4 consorts or Fireflies or Corvettes in one at 335 costs. If I were to make these, yeah, that's probably not worth it. It doesn't look like it. That's unfortunate. I would have liked to have put that Firefly to use, and of course we locked down kind of an interesting design. But with the dark matter reactor, this could actually work though now. To an extent. So this is possible to work. Now that I have the 4 slots I need, maybe? Let's find out. Once I find the power capacitors. I need at least 200. And that fills it up nicely. Although, yeah, okay, actually, it does have the power. It's going to be a little tricky. But it does have the power. I might have to cut the rapid fire though. Because it is going to hurt the energy cost it demands. But the singulator cans can actually work now. It actually can work. Yeah, Arc Extend hurts the power demands quite a bit. It's 50% boost, which is... So maybe I'll leave it like that and try and find a use for it that way. Because, yeah, 5-second cooldown. And I have to recharge up to 200 energy for each. That's going to be a little bit difficult, but it works now. And also I could put an extra engine on it, which will help its speeds to do more flanking maneuvers. So this has potential. This has a lot of potential lockdown now. So I am actually happy with this. It just, I just need an opportunity where I have several of these to actually utilize in micro, which normally you would want them for a larger fight because it is kind of pointless in the small scale considering how I'm steamrolling everything. But that is everything except for Garalon. And if we learn anything from Swarm, this thing is going to benefit tremendously from the dark matter reactors. This basically has covered all of the power demands I need here for the phasors. Almost to the point where I want to cut these flat cans all together. It's going to be almost comparable in power to Swarm now. Almost quite literally, I think. I do think I still want some point defense, so I'm just going to throw on 2 phasers here and leave these flat cans. And just for good measure, I may want to throw in this extra dark matter reactor. Hard to say. Oh, and I got plenty of antimatter reactors up here too, so you know what that means. I think that means we could throw in more phasors in the front. A good deal more. Then that leaves a spot here for another of these particle capacitors. This is going to be a significant improvement. Oh my god. This is going to be heaven. Once Garalon's going again with this refit. So, we got to put this to the test too. Do I want to throw 2 more phasers in? How many do I have on side? 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah. 6, 12, and 15 on each, and there's only, what, 10 on the front, so I could throw in 2 more. Why not? And we got plenty of extra space for capacitors, maybe? Shield generators, more than likely. I think that's what I'm going to do, more shield generators, because why the hell not? And worst case, I could throw another dark matter reactor in the back. Actually, can I throw in... No, I can only throw 1 more in. But that's enough. I think that's enough. Then what do I fill the rest with? Probably put a couple more smaller dark matter reactors. To keep it at least above 4,000 a second. And a little more power capacitor, because I guess as a buffer, if nothing else. Once I find them again. Where are they? I'm having such a hard time finding stuff here. Especially since this is the scenario editor too, which means everything's unlocked, which makes it even more confusing. So there's a massive boost to Garalon. There's only one thing left to do now. I want to have my fun and test out Locust with Garalon. See who comes out on top in the damage front. It's going to be hard to tell, but we're going to find out. I don't think Garalon likes being pushed to the side, if you were to ask me, for something that's more arguably more powerful than it. So it is the ultimate showdown. Let's see which kills what first. Although speed's going to be a factor here, so we're going to have to keep that in mind, because I think Locust is faster than Garalon. But let's find out, shall we? Let me just make sure range is pretty damn close, so that way they can get their max fire in. And turn off this engine as soon as I can. Yeah, let's see. Wow. I think it's safe to say that was relatively close. The only thing is difference to keep in mind is Garalon had the speed boost again at first, but it was pretty damn comparable, I think. Damn. That was impressive. Now, let me just do the basic math to actually see what's more powerful. Because Garalon has a whopping 30 on the side, 30 phasers on the side, plus 12 more in the front. Wow. 42 phasers on this thing. Whereas Locust has... doesn't look like it actually has as many, to be honest. Which is kind of downside. I could use more phasers on Locust, but then again, to be fair, Garalon doesn't really have any laser batteries aside for a handful of point defense weapons, whereas Locust at least has a large number of these laser cans. But I don't really need these smaller ones anymore. I could just replace those with the phasers to offset that. Because I have the larger laser cans, which essentially do the exact same thing. So, and if I really need to, I can upgrade those to be rapid fire to offset the the lost power. So that's 13 on each side now. And I have 12 on the front. So I can easily throw a couple more phasors in. That's basically 2 more will give us our 30, I think. I'm just trying to compare. Yeah, so 13 on each side. So 26. I'm assuming I count that right. Yeah. 5 here, 8, yeah. So 26, 12. Oh, and I got 2 antimatter reactors I don't care about. So why not just make them dark matter reactors, considering I just added a bunch of phasors. Not that it should be an issue. So yeah, 36, there's 40 there, plus 12 more, so... That is... Am I counting that right? I'm probably not counting right. Yeah, 1326, there. Yeah, I miscounted, damn it. 26, so 30, yeah, there it is, 42. So, I think that's about the same. I forget already what Garalon had, but that's a massive improvement. So, just for a final fun little bit of test, we're going to have Garalon and Locust go up against the poor little titans here and just annihilate them. See how long they last. Yeah, let's go crazy. We're just gonna add all the titans of different factions. I don't know what they have. It's probably low tech, but let's go crazy with it. And you can hide the raft in the back because it can. This is probably overkill. Maybe I'm overdoing it. Most of these titans don't have an upgrade version anyway, so... Let's have some fun, shall we? Let's see how bad it goes for me. Maybe if I'm lucky they can focus fire together there and kill those things off. There we go. Just dodged our subspace cannons there nicely. Let's see how quickly these things melt. Oh yeah, they're melting. They are melting. Did anyone have a doubt? That's 2 titans down already. The sentinel's about to fall apart. Yeah, these titans are pretty laughable. And Garalon's just sitting there and firing everything. Although it is having a little bit of energy issues. Hell, the Locust is having a little bit issues too. Just a small amount. Nothing too exciting. So that's something to keep in mind. There's still some limitations on the power demands. So probably could throw in more reactors. Locust is taking a little bit of hits, but not that significant. And there goes the Paladin. With its poor texturing as it dies. That was impressive, and well, some shield damage to the Locust, but there's like 1,000,000 points of damage right there for you. And I don't know, yeah, I think most of that damage is, yeah, considering the fact that the shields did not really count the damage, it's hard to really judge how much they did to me. Especially when you consider the raft is also entirely shield dependent, but that was fun. Everything is upgraded. We're ready to really teach the Cordial scene and of course what's left of the humans a nice lesson on not to mess with me.